Success is not avoiding you. It is waiting for you to stop kneeling before it. Listen to that again. Success is not avoiding you. It is waiting for you to stop kneeling before it. You think the world has not chosen you. You think life has forgotten your name. You think the door of achievement is locked from the outside. But perhaps the harder truth is this. You have been begging for what you were supposed to build. You have been chasing applause before you built character. You have been asking for results before you became the kind of person who could carry them. You have been praying for success while still betraying yourself in private. And that is why this teaching is called Stoicism. Build, don't beg. You are not here by accident. This is not another motivational speech for people who want to feel inspired for 1 hour and return to the same weak habits tomorrow. This is a Stoic warning, a warning to the one who is tired of working hard but still feeling behind. A warning to the one who says, I want more, but still lives like someone who has not chosen himself. A warning to the one who refreshes the screen, waits for approval, checks the numbers, watches other people rise, and quietly asks, why not me? I will tell you why. Not to wound you, but to wake you. Success does not come closer to a soul that is begging. It comes closer to a soul that is being forged. The early Stoics, beginning with Zeno, taught that life must be lived according to nature and reason. They did not mean comfort. They did not mean emotionless living. They meant alignment. Your inner life must align with Logos, the rational order that governs all things. The Middle Stoics carried this wisdom into the duties of public life. They taught that philosophy was not merely for the quiet thinker, but for the citizen, the worker, the leader, the parent, the one who must act in the world without being owned by the world. And the later Stoics, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, brought this teaching into the blood and pressure of daily suffering. They taught that a person may lose money, status, comfort, approval, even freedom of the body, and still remain unconquered if the ruling faculty within him has not been sold. So understand this from the beginning. This video is not really about success. It is about the kind of human being you must become before success can touch you without destroying you. Because success is dangerous in the hands of an undisciplined soul. Money makes the greedy more restless. Attention makes the insecure more addicted. Power makes the untrained more cruel. Recognition makes the empty more afraid to lose it. That is why the Stoic does not begin by asking, how do I get more? The Stoic begins by asking, what kind of person am I becoming while I pursue more? Maybe you know this pain. You wake up and check your phone before you check your soul. You look at someone younger than you, making more money. Someone less talented, getting more attention. Someone who seems to be living the life you thought would be yours by now. And something tightens in your chest. Not inspiration, not clarity, hunger. A bitter hunger, the kind that says, I am behind, I am losing, I need this now, I need proof now, I need the world to show me that I matter. And once that hunger takes the throne, you no longer build, you beg. You beg through desperate decisions, you beg through rushed moves, you beg through promises you do not keep, you beg through copying people you do not respect. You beg through chasing validation from those who cannot give you inner freedom. And the tragedy is this. The more you beg, the less worthy you feel. The more you chase, the more your dignity leaks away. A builder is different. A builder returns to the stone every morning. A builder sharpens the tool. A builder studies the floor. A builder keeps his word when his mood has abandoned him. A builder does not ask the crowd to believe before there is evidence. A builder lets discipline speak long before success has a voice. Think of James Dyson. Do not worship his success. Look at his discipline. The lesson is not that he became rich. The lesson is that he stayed with the work through thousands of failed prototypes. Most people fail 5 times and call it a sign from the universe to quit. A builder fails and asks, what is the work trying to teach me? That is Stoic. Not because it guarantees the outcome, but because it returns the soul to what is within its control. Your effort, your judgment, your endurance, your honesty, your craft, your character. And this is where most people lose. They want the fruit without honoring the root. They want the crown without training the neck to carry its weight. They want success to arrive as a rescue. But success is not a savior. Virtue is the foundation. Success is only an external. Useful, perhaps. Preferred, perhaps. But never sacred. Never higher than character. Never worth selling your soul for. In this teaching, I will walk you through 7 Stoic chapters. First, you will see why you must stop worshipping success like a hungry slave. Then you will see how the golden mask of stability can still become a prison. You will learn why doubt is not a prophet, but only an impression passing through the mind. You will learn why your word must become heavier than your mood. You will leave the invisible courtroom of other people's opinions. You will enter the coal furnace of waiting, where character is forged in silence. And finally, you will understand what it means to build so deeply that success has no choice but to find the person you have become. But do not misunderstand me. I am not telling you to sit still and hope. Hope, without discipline, is only a softer form of begging. I am not telling you to reject ambition. Ambition ruled by virtue can become service. Ambition ruled by fear becomes slavery. I am not telling you that success is evil. I am telling you that success must never become your god, because whatever you worship will eventually own you. If you worship money, poverty will terrify you. If you worship applause, silence will break you. If you worship approval, criticism will control you. If you worship success, every delay will feel like death. But if you honor virtue, then even delay becomes training. Even rejection becomes information. Even failure becomes material. Even waiting becomes a furnace. So stay with me, not as someone begging for a secret shortcut. Stay as someone ready to be corrected, ready to be sharpened, ready to stop asking the world for permission to become serious. Because the world does not need another desperate dreamer. It needs builders, people whose actions match their words, people whose patience is stronger than their insecurity, people whose discipline continues when no one is clapping, people who can be trusted by life because they have first become trustworthy to themselves. And before we go further, I want you to carry one sentence into the rest of this video. Success is not the proof that you are worthy. Your character is. Success may come. Success may delay. Success may arrive in a form you did not expect. But your task is not to beg for it at the altar of anxiety. Your task is to build the kind of soul that does not collapse without it and does not become corrupted with it. That is Stoicism. Build, don't beg. And the first thing we must destroy is the oldest disease of ambition, the belief that success is something you must chase like a starving slave. Stop worshipping success like a hungry slave. Success becomes dangerous when you kneel before it. A hungry man will sell his dignity for bread, and an ambitious man, if he is not careful, will sell his soul for applause. This is the first disease of ambition, not wanting success. Wanting success so desperately that you begin to forget who you are. You think you are building, but often you are begging. Begging for the numbers to rise. Begging for people to notice. Begging for the world to finally give you proof that you are not wasting your life. Begging for success to arrive and rescue you from the quiet shame of feeling ordinary. But listen carefully. Success is a poor god. It accepts your worship, then gives you no peace. If you worship money, every empty account will terrify you. If you worship applause, every silence will wound you. If you worship recognition, every ignored effort will feel like humiliation. If you worship success, every delay will feel like death. The early Stoics taught that a human being must live according to reason and nature. They called this rational order, logos. To live well was not to chase every shining thing the world placed before your eyes. To live well was to bring the soul into alignment with what is true, what is disciplined, what is virtuous, and what belongs to your control. The Middle Stoics carried this wisdom into public life. They taught that a person must act in the world, work in the world, serve in the world, and still not become owned by the world. And the later Stoics, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, made this truth sharp enough for suffering. They taught that wealth, fame, reputation, and status are externals. They may be preferred. They may be useful, but they are not sacred. They are not the measure of the soul. Virtue is. Character is. The way you act when no one is rewarding you is. The way you continue when the crowd is silent is. The way you keep your word when your mood has abandoned you is. This is where the beggar and the builder separate. The beggar says, "Give me success, so I can finally believe in myself." The builder says, "I will become disciplined before success arrives." The beggar asks, "Why has the world not chosen me?" The builder asks, "What part of my character is still too weak to carry what I am asking for?" The beggar is addicted to the result. The builder is devoted to the craft. And life responds differently to these two people. Not always quickly, not always visibly, but deeply. Because desperation makes the hand shake. Desperation makes the voice rush. Desperation makes the mind impatient. Desperation makes you take bad deals, copy shallow people, abandon your own rhythm, and call panic ambition. You begin moving not from strength, but from hunger. And hunger without wisdom will make a slave of you. Imagine a man who wants success more than he wants character. He wakes up and checks the numbers first. Views, salis, message, followers, replies. If the numbers are good, he feels chosen. If the numbers are bad, he feels worthless. One day he is confident. The next day he is broken. Not because his soul changed, because he placed his soul on a scale controlled by the outside world. This is not ambition. This is captivity. The Stoic does not reject success. The Stoic rejects slavery to success. There is a difference. You may build a business. You may grow a channel. You may become wealthy. You may become respected. You may create something that reaches millions. But if every step is ruled by the fear of not being enough, then even your achievement will carry the smell of chains. You will reach the thing you wanted and still feel hunted, because the beggar inside you survived the victory. This is why Stoicism begins with the inner life. Not because the outer life does not matter, but because the outer life becomes dangerous when the inner life is weak. James Dyson gives us a useful image here. Do not worship his success. Look at his discipline. He did not begin by begging the world to call him a genius. He began with a problem, a machine that did not work well enough, a flaw others accepted, a frustration he refused to ignore. And then came the prototypes. One failed, then another, thousands of attempts. Years of work, years where the world did not yet clap, years where the result had not yet arrived. Most people would have turned failure into identity. They would have said, "This is proof I am not meant for this." But a builder does not treat failure as a verdict. A builder treats failure as information. What is still wrong? What must be refined? Where is the weakness in the design? Where is the weakness in me? That is the Stoic spirit. Not control over the final outcome. Control over effort. Control over attention. Control over endurance. Control over the refusal to worship immediate reward. And this is the lesson. Build before you ask to be seen. Refine before you demand applause. Strengthen the root before you beg for fruit. Because success that comes too early can ruin a person who has not been trained. Money can make the greedy more restless. Attention can make the insecure more addicted. Influence can make the undisciplined more arrogant. Victory can make the empty more afraid of losing. So perhaps the delay you hate is not your enemy. Perhaps it is preventing your untrained soul from being crushed by the very thing you are begging for. That thought should humble you. Maybe life is not denying you. Maybe life is asking you to become heavier. Heavier in discipline. Heavier in patience. Heavier in integrity. Heavier in craft. Heavier in virtue. So stop asking success to save you. Success is not a savior. It is an external. It may come. It may delay. It may arrive in a form you did not expect. But your task is not to crawl toward it like a starving servant. Your task is to stand before the work like a free human being. Do what is yours. Shape what is yours. Improve what is yours. Return to what is yours. Your judgment is yours. Your effort is yours. Your honesty is yours. Your discipline is yours. Your character is yours. The applause is not yours. The timing is not yours. The opinion of the crowd is not yours. The final reward is not fully yours. This is not discouraging. This is freedom. Because the moment you stop worshipping success, you become capable of building properly. You no longer rush every move. You no longer betray your standards for quick attention. You no longer abandon the craft because the fruit has not appeared. You stop asking, when will I finally be rewarded? And you begin asking, who am I becoming through this work? That question is the beginning of Stoic ambition. Ambition ruled by virtue. Ambition without begging. Ambition without spiritual poverty. Ambition that does not kneel. So hear this harsh truth. If you need success to prove that you are worthy, you are not ready for success. Because worth built on results will collapse with results. But if you build from character, then success may enlarge your life, but it will not own your soul. That is the difference. A hungry slave chases the crown. A free builder becomes strong enough to carry it. And now we must look at the next prison. Because many people are not begging for success from the outside. They are trapped inside something more subtle. A life that looks stable, safe, and respectable. But underneath it, the soul is suffocating behind a golden mask. The golden mask of stability is still a prison. Not every prison looks ugly. Some prisons have a salary. Some prisons have a clean desk. Some prisons have polite co-workers, a respectable title, and a family that says, at least you are safe. But safety can become a golden mask. It shines from the outside. It impresses the crowd. It makes you look responsible, mature, reasonable, and secure. Yet beneath it, the soul may be suffocating. This is one of the quietest tragedies of modern life. A person can do everything right and still feel that something inside him is dying. He wakes up on time. He works hard. He pays bills. He answers emails. He smiles when people ask how things are going. He says, I am fine. But deep inside he knows. This is not peace. This is a well-organized surrender. The world calls it stability, but the soul calls it a cage. Now listen carefully. Stoicism does not tell you to be reckless. A Stoic does not worship chaos. A Stoic does not throw away responsibility and call it freedom. That is not wisdom. That is childish rebellion wearing the mask of courage. The early Stoics taught that life must follow reason and nature. Reason asks for discipline. Nature asks for honest alignment. So, if you have a family, a duty, a debt, a body to feed, a promise to keep, then you must not treat responsibility like an enemy. Responsibility can be noble. Duty can be sacred. Work can be honorable. But there is a difference between duty and fear. There is a difference between patience and self-betrayal. There is a difference between building slowly and hiding forever. Many people are not being responsible. They are being afraid. They stay in places that shrink them, not because virtue asks them to stay, but because fear has convinced them that the known pain is safer than the unknown path. They say, this is just realistic. But sometimes realism is only fear with better vocabulary. The Middle Stoics understood that philosophy must live in public life. It must live in work, family, duty, and service. They did not teach escape from the world. They taught right action inside the world. So the question is not, should I quit everything and run toward a fantasy? The question is sharper. Am I staying because this is aligned with virtue? Or am I staying because fear has learned how to sound wise? Imagine a man who has worked in the same office for years. Every morning, he puts on the same shirt, walks the same path, sits under the same artificial light, answers the same messages. He is not lazy. He is not weak. He is not foolish. In fact, that is the problem. He is capable. He is disciplined. He is intelligent. But his life has become too small for the person he is being called to become. There is work inside him, that he keeps postponing, a skill he keeps delaying, a project he keeps hiding, a business he keeps imagining but never building, a calling he keeps pushing away because the paycheck arrives every month and tells him, stay quiet. At first, stability feels like protection. Then slowly, it becomes sedation. It does not wound him loudly, it numbs him gently. And after years of this, he no longer knows whether he is peaceful or just asleep. This is the danger of the golden mask. It lets you look successful while your courage decays. It lets you look safe while your character remains untested. It lets you avoid failure, but also avoid becoming. And if you are not careful, you will spend your whole life protecting a version of yourself you were meant to outgrow. The later Stoics would not let you hide from this. Epictetus would ask, what is truly yours? Not your title, not your paycheck, not the approval of your family, not the comfort of being understood. What is yours? Your judgment, your choices, your courage, your integrity, your willingness to act according to reason. Marcus Aurelius would remind you that a human being must do the work of a human being, not merely exist, not merely consume time, not merely survive with a respectable face, but act according to the highest part of the soul. Seneca would warn you that life is long enough if you know how to use it, but terribly short when you spend it postponing your own becoming. So ask yourself, honestly, what are you calling stability that is actually fear? What are you calling patience that is actually avoidance? What are you calling loyalty that is actually self-abandonment? What are you calling peace that is actually numbness? These questions are not comfortable, but philosophy was never meant to keep you comfortable. It was meant to make you free. And freedom does not always begin with a dramatic escape. Sometimes it begins with one honest admission. This life I have built is not evil, but it is no longer enough for the soul I am becoming. That sentence can frighten you. Good. Some fear is useful. Fear shows you where the chain is attached. But fear must not become the ruler. A Stoic does not act from panic. A Stoic acts from clarity. So do not romanticize sudden change. Do not destroy your responsibilities because you watched a motivational video. Do not mistake impulse for destiny. Instead, begin like a builder. Look at the stone in front of you. What can be shaped today? Can you wake 1 hour earlier and build the skill? Can you save money with discipline? Can you study after work? Can you make one honest plan? Can you stop spending your energy complaining and start preparing? Can you turn the hidden dream into a visible practice? That is how a Stoic removes the golden mask. Not by screaming at life, but by becoming too honest to keep pretending. The builder does not beg for freedom. He prepares for it. He does not ask life to rescue him from the office, the job, the routine, the fear. He becomes the kind of person who can leave with dignity when the time is right, or stay with purpose if staying is truly required. That distinction matters, because sometimes the prison is not the job. Sometimes the prison is your relationship to the job. Sometimes the same place that once felt like a cage can become a training ground if you return to it with reason. You may not control every circumstance, but you control whether your circumstance becomes an excuse to stop growing. You control whether comfort makes you soft. You control whether fear writes your future. You control whether today becomes another sacrifice to the golden mask. This is the harsh truth. A stable life without inner truth is only a polished prison. It may impress others. It may calm your family. It may look respectable from a distance. But when you are alone, your soul knows whether you are living or merely maintaining. And the soul cannot be lied to forever. So do not beg for success while hiding inside safety. Build your way out. Build the skill. Build the discipline. Build the savings. Build the courage. Build the evidence. Build the version of yourself that no longer needs fear to make every decision. The golden mask loses power when the face beneath it becomes honest. And once you become honest about the prison that looks like stability, the next enemy will rise immediately. Doubt. It will come to your mind and speak like a prophet. But do not believe it too quickly. Doubt is not a prophet. It is only an impression. Doubt is not a prophet. It is only an impression. Doubt sounds holy when you are tired. It arrives in the dark and speaks like a prophet. It says, "You are not ready." It says, "This will never work." It says, "Other people can rise, but not you." It says, "Look at your past. Look at your failures. Look at how long you have been trying." And because the voice is inside your own head, you mistake it for truth. But listen carefully. Doubt is not a prophet. It is only an impression. It is a visitor at the gate of the mind. It may knock loudly. It may arrive with old memories, shame, fear, and physical heaviness. But it does not have the authority to command your life unless you give it assent. This is one of the great teachings of Stoicism. The early Stoics understood that what first appears in the mind is not yet wisdom. It is only an impression, a first image, a first movement, a first disturbance. The world touches you, and the mind produces a picture. Someone does not reply. An impression appears. Maybe I am not important. You fail at something. An impression appears. Maybe I am not meant for this. You see another person succeed. An impression appears. Maybe I am already too late. But the impression is not the truth. It is only raw material. The Stoic does not bow to the first thing that appears. The Stoic examines it. The Stoic asks, is this real, or is this fear wearing a robe of authority? This is where most people become slaves. They do not suffer only because doubt appears. They suffer because they believe doubt immediately. They sign their soul over to the first dark sentence that enters the mind. A man wakes up and remembers that his business is not growing. He checks the numbers. Nothing has changed. No new orders, no new messages, no visible proof that the work is working. Then doubt begins to speak. You are wasting your time. You should have stayed where it was safe. You are embarrassing yourself. People were right about you. Now watch what happens. His body tightens. His breath becomes shallow. His eyes become heavy. He has not lost the battle in the world yet. He has lost it inside his judgment. The outside event was simple. The numbers did not move, but his mind added a sentence. Therefore, I am failing. Then another. Therefore, I am foolish. Then another. Therefore, I should stop. This is how doubt becomes dangerous. Not by appearing, but by being crowned. The later Stoics were mercilessly clear about this. Epictetus taught that human beings are disturbed not by things themselves, but by the judgments they form about things. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that he had power over his mind, not outside events. These are not soft sayings. They are weapons. They are the tools by which a person separates reality from panic. The event is one thing. The story you attach to it is another. Your channel has not grown yet. That is an event. I will never succeed. That is judgment. Your work has not been recognized yet. That is an event. No one cares about me. That is judgment. You made a mistake. That is an event. I am worthless. That is judgment. The Stoic path begins when you stop treating judgment as fate. Doubt will often use your past as evidence. It will open old wounds and pretend to be logical. It will say, remember the last time you failed. Remember when they laughed. Remember when you started and stopped. Remember when you promised yourself and did not follow through. And yes, some of those memories may be real, but doubt is dishonest because it selects only the evidence that weakens you. It remembers your collapse, but not your recovery. It remembers your shame, but not your endurance. It remembers the time you quit, but not the time you returned. It remembers the wound, but not the scar that proved you survived. So when doubt speaks, do not argue like a desperate man. Examine like a philosopher. Ask it for evidence. Ask it what it is trying to protect. Ask it whether it is guiding you toward virtue or away from action. Ask it whether it belongs to what you control. If doubt says, what if they judge me? Answer, their judgment is not mine. If doubt says, what if I fail? Answer, my effort is mine. If doubt says, what if I am not ready? Answer, readiness is built through action. If doubt says, "What if success never comes?" Answer, virtue is still required today. That is how a Stoic speaks to doubt. Not with fake positivity, not with empty shouting, not by pretending fear does not exist, but by refusing to let fear become law. The Middle Stoics carried philosophy into responsibility, public life, and duty. They knew that a person cannot wait for perfect confidence before acting. A parent cannot wait. A worker cannot wait. A leader cannot wait. A builder cannot wait. Life asks for action while the soul is still uncertain. And that is where character is formed. Not when doubt is absent, but when doubt is present and you still choose what is right. Courage is not the silence of fear. Courage is reason speaking louder than fear. So here is the practice. When doubt appears, name it. Do not say, "This is the truth." Say, "An impression has appeared." Say it slowly. An impression has appeared. This one sentence creates distance, and distance gives reason room to stand. Then ask, what is the event? What is the story? What is within my control? What would virtue do next? Maybe virtue tells you to continue. Maybe it tells you to refine the work. Maybe it tells you to ask for help. Maybe it tells you to rest without quitting. Maybe it tells you to stop chasing approval and return to the craft. But virtue will rarely tell you to collapse into self-hatred. Doubt loves confusion. Reason loves clarity. So make the mind clean. Separate the signal from the command. Separate the fear from the fact. Separate the wound from the truth. This is the harsh truth. Many people do not fail because they were defeated by the world. They fail because they obeyed an impression too early. They quit while the work was still forming. They turned silence into rejection. They turned delay into doom. They turned discomfort into a sign that they were not chosen. But the Stoic does not need to feel chosen. The Stoic chooses. He chooses discipline. He chooses truth. He chooses the next right action. He chooses not to make doubt his master. Doubt may walk beside you. Let it. Doubt may whisper. Let it. Doubt may bring old memories to the surface. Let it. But do not hand it the pen. Do not let it write the law of your life. Do not let a passing cloud declare the nature of the sky. You are not required to believe every thought that visits you. You are required to govern yourself. So when doubt comes, meet it at the gate. Look at it directly and say, "You may enter my awareness, but you will not rule my action. You may speak, but you will not decide. You may remind me of fear, but I will answer with virtue." That is Stoicism, not the absence of doubt, the mastery of assent. And once you learn that doubt is only an impression, you are ready for the next discipline. Because it is not enough to think clearly. Your words and your actions must become one. Your word must become heavier than your mood. Your word must become heavier than your mood. A person who cannot keep his word to himself is already poor, even if he has money. Because the first form of wealth is not gold. It is self-trust. And every time you say you will do something, then abandon it because your mood changed. You spend that wealth like a fool. You say, "I will wake up early." Then morning comes, and comfort negotiates with you. You say, "I will build this business." Then difficulty comes, and you start looking for excuses. You say, "I will stop wasting time." Then boredom comes, and your hand reaches for distraction. You say, "I am serious now." But your actions keep whispering, "No, you are not." This is why your word must become heavier than your mood. Because your mood is weather. Your word must be stone. The early Stoics taught that the human being must live according to reason and nature. Reason does not ask, "How do I feel right now?" Reason asks, "What is right now?" Nature does not reward the seed that feels inspired for one day. Nature rewards what grows steadily, quietly, repeatedly, even when nothing looks impressive on the surface. The Middle Stoics understood that philosophy had to enter daily duty, not only the temple, not only the classroom, not only the scroll, but the workplace, the family, the marketplace, the quiet private hour when no one is watching. because that is where character is either built or betrayed. And the later Stoics made this even sharper. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Do you hear the order? First, declare the person. Then, perform the duty. Not when the mood is perfect. Not when fear disappears. Not when motivation arrives like a servant carrying fire. Say what you will be, then pay the price in action. Most people want success while living in contradiction. They say they want discipline, but they protect every comfort. They say they want freedom, but they obey every craving. They say they want respect, but they do not respect their own promises. They say they want to build, but they only build on days when emotion gives them permission. This is not building. This is begging from your own mood. Imagine a young man who says he wants to create something great. A business, a channel, a book, a body of work that will outlive his excuses. For months, he speaks about it. He tells friends. He writes plans. He watches others succeed and feels pain in his chest. But when the hour comes to work, he disappears. One night becomes two. One delay becomes a habit. One broken promise becomes a private identity. And slowly, the deepest damage is not that the project remains unfinished. The deepest damage is that he stops believing himself. His own words begin to sound cheap inside his mind. That is a dangerous place to live. Because when your own soul no longer trusts your voice, no amount of outside applause can heal you. Success does not move toward people who cannot be trusted by themselves. It moves toward those whose actions and words begin to speak the same language. This is integrity, not perfection. Integrity. It means there is no great war between what you claim to value and what your day reveals. If you say health matters, your choices must eventually show it. If you say your work matters, your calendar must eventually show it. If you say truth matters, your conversations must eventually show it. If you say your dream matters, your sacrifice must eventually show it. Do not tell me what you want. Show me what you repeat. Repetition is the confession of the soul. This is where many people become angry. They want to be judged by their intentions. But life responds to patterns. You intended to start, but you repeated delay. You intended to improve, but you repeated distraction. You intended to become stronger, but you repeated comfort. And now, the result is not punishment, it is evidence. The Stoic does not hate evidence. The Stoic studies it. He does not say, "I am a failure." He says, "My pattern has revealed the truth. Now I must correct the pattern." That is freedom, not self-hatred. Correction, not shame. Discipline, not drama. Action. So here is the practice. Choose one promise small enough that your excuses look ridiculous. Not a grand vow, not a heroic fantasy. One clean act. Write for 30 minutes. Walk for 20 minutes. Save a little money. Make one call. Study one lesson. Build one page. Record one idea. Clean one corner of the life you keep saying you want to change. Then do it when your mood refuses to help you. Especially then, because every promise kept under resistance becomes evidence. Evidence that your word has weight. Evidence that you are no longer governed by emotional weather. Evidence that you can be trusted with larger things later because you are faithful with small things now. A person does not become trustworthy in public first. He becomes trustworthy in private, in the quiet hour, in the unseen repetition, in the moment where quitting would be easy and no one would know. But you would know, and that is enough. Your soul is always listening. When you keep your word, the soul becomes stronger. When you break it casually, the soul becomes suspicious of you. This is the harsh truth. Many people are not unlucky. They are unaligned. Their mouth walks east. Their feet walk west. Their dreams point upward. Their habits dig downward. Then they pray for success to arrive in the middle of contradiction. But success cannot build a home on a cracked foundation. If your words and actions are divided, your life will leak power. Every broken promise becomes a crack. Every excuse becomes a crack. Every private betrayal becomes a crack. And then you wonder why nothing holds. The Stoic answer is severe, but merciful. Close the gap. Say less. Do more. Make fewer promises. Keep them with greater force. Let your yes become sacred. Let your no become clean. Let your daily action become the proof that your soul is no longer for sale to moods, cravings, or fear. Your mood will complain. Let it complain. Your body will ask for comfort. Let it ask. Your mind will say tomorrow. Let it speak, but do not hand it the law. You are not required to feel ready. You are required to act rightly. That is what separates the builder from the beggar. The beggar waits to feel powerful. The builder becomes powerful by keeping promises while feeling weak. The beggar says, "I will move when I believe." The builder says, "I will move, and belief will be built from movement." So make your word heavy. Heavy enough that laziness cannot lift it. Heavy enough that fear cannot carry it away. Heavy enough that your future self can stand on it. Because once your word becomes heavier than your mood, you become dangerous to every old version of yourself. And then, another prison begins to lose power. The invisible courtroom. The place where other people's opinions sit like judges over dreams they never had the courage to build. Leave the invisible courtroom of other people's opinions. The opinion of other people is one of the cleanest prisons ever built. It has no bars, no guards, no lock you can touch, and yet millions of people wake up inside it every morning. They do not move because someone might laugh. They do not speak because someone might misunderstand. They do not build because someone might ask, "Who do you think you are?" They do not become great because they are still waiting for permission from people who never had the courage to become themselves. This is the invisible courtroom, and many of you have spent your whole life standing inside it. The judge is your family. The jury is your friends. The witnesses are strangers online. The sentence is shame. And the crime is wanting more than the life people expected you to accept. But listen carefully. A life built for the approval of others is not a life. It is a performance. And performance is exhausting because the audience keeps changing. Today they want you quiet. Tomorrow they want you successful. Today they mock your dream. Tomorrow they ask how you did it. Today they call you unrealistic. Tomorrow they call you lucky. So why would you hand your soul to a crowd that cannot even keep its judgment consistent? The early Stoics taught that human beings must live according to reason and nature, not according to applause, not according to gossip, not according to the trembling opinions of people ruled by their own fears. To live according to nature means to live according to the highest part of yourself, the rational part, the disciplined part, the part that can ask, what is right? Not, what will they think? The Middle Stoics carried this into public life. They understood that a person does not live alone in the mountains. He lives among citizens, relatives, workers, leaders, critics, and fools. He must listen when listening is wise. He must learn when correction is true. But he must never let the crowd become the master of his conscience. And the later Stoics made this teaching painfully practical. Marcus Aurelius, ruler of Rome, still had to remind himself that human beings love themselves more than others, yet care more about the opinions of others than their own judgment. Think about that. Even an emperor had to fight this. So do not be ashamed that you struggle with it, but do not make peace with the prison. Imagine a person with a dream, still in its weakest stage, not proven yet, not polished yet, not ready for applause, just a small flame, a business idea, a book, a channel, a new life, a wheel, a path that feels true but still fragile. Then he makes the mistake of bringing that flame into the invisible courtroom too early. He tells people who do not understand the calling. He explains it to people who measure life only by safety. He asks approval from people whose own dreams are buried under fear. And they speak, "Be realistic. That is too risky. People like us do not do that. What if you fail? You should wait. You should stay safe. You should not embarrass yourself." And because the dream is still young, their fear becomes heavier than his vision. So he puts it down, not because the dream was false, but because he asked blind judges to evaluate something they could not see. This is why some things must be built in silence. Not forever, but long enough to grow roots. Sarah Blakely understood this. Before the world knew her name, before the success, before the praise, she protected her idea from the crowd. She did not beg everyone to believe first. She built, she worked, she tested, she moved with quiet conviction before the applause arrived. That is the lesson. Do not bring your unfinished calling before people who are committed to misunderstanding it. A seed does not need a public audience. It needs soil. It needs pressure. It needs time. It needs the hidden discipline to become strong enough to break through the surface. The Stoic does not hate other people's opinions. That would be childish. Some criticism is useful. Some counsel is wise. Some correction is a gift. But the Stoic knows how to separate guidance from fear. Wisdom asks questions that make you clearer. Fear asks questions that make you smaller. Wisdom helps you prepare. Fear tells you to disappear. Wisdom strengthens the work. Fear kills the worker before the work begins. So when someone speaks against your path, do not react with anger. Examine. Is this person speaking from virtue or from fear? From experience or from bitterness? From truth or from their own ceiling? Are they warning me because they see a real danger? Or because my courage exposes their surrender? This is how you leave the courtroom. Not by hating the judges, but by refusing to let them decide your sentence. The builder does not ask everyone to approve the blueprint. He returns to the stone. He returns to the tool. He returns to the quiet hour where proof is made. Because proof is stronger than explanation. Many people waste years defending dreams they have not started. They argue. They explain. They try to convince the doubters. They rehearse speeches for critics who are not even listening. But the Stoic builder understands this. Build first. Explain less. Let evidence speak later. If your life is always asking for permission, it will never gather power. Your energy must go into the work, not into managing the imaginary crowd inside your head. This is the harsh truth. Most people are not thinking about you as much as you fear. They are busy protecting their own image. They are trapped in their own courtroom. They are worrying about their own shame. And the few who do judge you are often judging from a prison they have not escaped. So why are you shrinking for prisoners? Why are you lowering your voice for people who never learned to speak from their own soul? Why are you delaying the work? Because someone who will not build with you may not clap for you. Let them think. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand the early version. Let them call it foolish before it becomes undeniable. Your task is not to be approved. Your task is to become aligned. Aligned with reason. Aligned with virtue. Aligned with the duty that belongs to your soul. Aligned with the work that keeps returning to you no matter how long you avoid it. So here is the practice. Before you make a decision, ask yourself, am I choosing this from wisdom or from the fear of being seen? Am I staying small because it is right or because I'm afraid they will talk? Am I asking for advice or am I secretly begging for permission? Then answer honestly, because self-deception is more dangerous than criticism. If correction is true, accept it. If advice is wise, use it. If warning is reasonable, prepare better. But if the voice only carries fear, envy, projection, or smallness, bow to none of it. The Stoic does not become rude. The Stoic becomes free. He can hear opinions without being ruled by them. He can receive criticism without becoming its servant. He can walk through laughter without abandoning the path. He can be misunderstood and still remain faithful to what is right. That is apatheia, not emotional deadness, but freedom from being dragged around by every external judgment. A soul no longer bribed by praise. A soul no longer broken by criticism. A soul no longer waiting for the crowd to say, "Now you may begin." You may begin now, quietly, seriously, imperfectly, without the courtroom, without the public vote, without dragging your dream into the hands of people who were never assigned to carry it. Build until your work has weight. Build until your evidence is stronger than their doubt. Build until even silence becomes your ally. Because once you leave the invisible courtroom, you recover a power you have been wasting for years. Attention, courage, creative fire, inner clarity. And all of that must now be carried into the hardest place of all, the waiting period. Because after you stop begging for approval, you must learn how to stay faithful when the world gives you no visible result. That is where the coal furnace begins. That is where waiting stops being punishment and starts forging your character. The coal furnace of waiting is forging your character. Waiting is where most ambition dies. Not because the dream was false, not because the work had no value, not because success was impossible, but because the person could not endure the season where nothing visible was clapping back. This is the coal furnace, the place where the outside world looks silent, but something inside you is being tested by fire. You work, you post, you practice, you save, you study, you build, you correct, you return the next day. And still, the numbers do not move. The money does not come. The crowd does not notice. The opportunity does not arrive. The answer remains delayed. And then the mind begins to whisper, maybe this is not working. Maybe I am wasting my life. Maybe I should quit before I look foolish. Maybe I was never meant for this. That moment is dangerous, because the waiting period does not only test your plan, it reveals your philosophy. A beggar cannot wait. A beggar needs proof immediately. A beggar needs applause before discipline has matured. A beggar needs the world to say, yes, you are chosen, before he can continue. But a builder understands something deeper. The unseen season is not empty. It is forming the person who will one day have to carry the visible season. The early Stoics taught that life follows logos, a rational order deeper than your impatience. This does not mean every desire will arrive exactly when you want it. It means your task is not to panic because the surface is quiet. Your task is to live according to reason while time does its hidden work. The Middle Stoics brought this into duty. They understood that a human being must continue doing what is right, even when reward is delayed. The farmer does not curse the soil every morning because the harvest has not appeared. The craftsman does not smash the marble because the statue is not complete after the first strike. The student does not become wise after one page. The soul does not become strong after one act of courage. Everything noble takes formation, and formation is usually invisible before it becomes undeniable. The later Stoics made this truth severe. Seneca warned that people waste life by always longing for the next thing. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to act according to nature and accept the timing of events. Epictetus taught that you must concern yourself with what is yours. Your effort is yours. Your discipline is yours. Your patience is yours. Your honesty is yours. The result is not fully yours. The timing is not fully yours. The recognition is not fully yours. And if you cannot accept that, then your ambition will become another chain. Imagine a man building something for months. Every night after work, he sits down tired. His back aches. His eyes burn. His friends are outside living easier lives. No one is praising him. No one is paying him yet. No one is calling him gifted. There is only the work, quiet, repetitive, unromantic. He begins to wonder if he is foolish. But this is the exact place where character is formed. Not on the day of applause. Not on the day the money arrives. Not on the day the crowd finally understands. Character is formed on the night when quitting would be easy and no one would blame you. Character is formed when you continue without being emotionally bribed by results. Character is formed when your reason says, this is still mine to do, even though my feelings are tired. That is the coal furnace. It burns away fantasy. It burns away childish entitlement. It burns away the part of you that thought success should arrive simply because you wanted it badly. Waiting humbles you. It teaches you that wanting is cheap, endurance is costly. And what is costly is what transforms you. Many people say they want success, But what they really want is rescue. They want success to come quickly and remove insecurity. They want money to come quickly and remove fear. They want recognition to come quickly and remove doubt. They want the result to arrive before their character has been trained. But Stoicism does not allow this childish bargain. The Stoic does not ask life to remove every difficult season. The Stoic asks, what virtue is this season demanding from me? If the waiting period demands patience, practice patience. If it demands discipline, practice discipline. If it demands humility, practice humility. If it demands better craft, improve the craft. If it demands silence, stop explaining and return to the work. If it demands courage, keep moving without visible proof. This is Amor Fati in practice. Not merely tolerating the waiting period, loving it as the place where your hidden strength is being made. Not because waiting is easy, not because delay feels good, not because uncertainty is pleasant, but because the furnace is doing what comfort never could. It is removing what cannot survive your future. Your impatience cannot carry real success. Your need for constant approval cannot carry real success. Your addiction to quick results cannot carry real success. Your emotional weakness around silence cannot carry real success. So perhaps the waiting period is not punishment. Perhaps it is protection. Perhaps it is training. Perhaps it is life asking you to become strong enough to receive without becoming corrupted. This is the harsh truth. If you cannot remain faithful when no one sees you, you are not ready for the weight of being seen. If you cannot work without applause, applause will eventually own you. If you cannot continue without immediate reward, reward will become your master. The builder must become heavier than the silence, heavier than delay, heavier than doubt, heavier than the temptation to dig up the work before it has taken root. So here is the practice. When you are in a waiting season, stop asking only, when will this work? Ask a better question. What is this season building in me? Is it teaching me patience? Is it exposing my dependence on approval? Is it revealing weak habits? Is it sharpening my skill? Is it forcing me to become honest about why I want success in the first place? That question turns waiting into philosophy. It changes the season from punishment into training. And when the mind says, nothing is happening, answer with reason. Something is happening. My patience is being tested. My discipline is being measured. My craft is being refined. My ego is being burned. My character is being forged. The world may not see it yet, but I am not working only for the world to see. I am working because this is who I said I would become. That is how a Stoic waits. Not passively, not lazily, not with empty hope, but actively, faithfully, with hands still moving, with standards still rising, with the soul refusing to become bitter, simply because time has not obeyed its demand. Do not confuse waiting with standing still. A true waiting period is full of motion beneath the surface. You are learning. You are correcting. You are becoming less needy. You are becoming harder to shake. You are becoming the kind of person who does not collapse when success delays and does not become arrogant when success arrives. That is not wasted time. That is formation. So stay in the furnace. Not forever in the same place. Not blindly repeating what does not work, but long enough to be changed by the discipline of remaining faithful. Refine the work. Study the evidence. Adjust what must be adjusted. But do not abandon the path simply because the reward is late. The beggar quits when the world is silent. The builder listens to the silence and keeps shaping the stone. Because one day, what was hidden will become visible. And when it does, people may call it sudden. They may call it luck. They may call it talent. But you will know. It was the coal furnace. It was the waiting. It was every unseen hour that made the visible result possible. And once you understand this, you are ready for the final teaching. You do not beg success to come. You build so deeply that success has no choice but to find the person you have become. Build so deeply that success has no choice but to find you. You do not beg success to come. You become the kind of person success can recognize. That is the final correction, because the world has trained you to look outward. Where is the opportunity? Where is the applause? Where is the money? Where is the person who will finally notice me? Where is the sign that I am chosen? But the Stoic turns the question inward. Am I becoming worthy of the work I claim to desire? Am I building with virtue? Am I strengthening what is within my control? Am I becoming steady enough to receive success without being owned by it? This is the difference between begging and building. The beggar waits for the world to change his identity. The builder changes his identity through disciplined action. The beggar says, "When success comes, I will become confident." The builder says, "I will become trustworthy before success arrives." The beggar says, "When people believe in me, I will begin." The builder says, "I will begin until belief has evidence." The beggar says, "When I feel ready, I will move." The builder says, "Readiness is built through movement." The early Stoics taught that life must be lived according to reason and nature. That means your life cannot be built on panic, envy, comparison, or emotional hunger. It must be built on logos, order, reason, alignment. The Middle Stoics carried this truth into daily duty. They understood that philosophy is not proven by what you say in peace. It is proven by what you repeat under pressure. And the later Stoics made the teaching severe. Epictetus would tell you to return to what is yours. Marcus Aurelius would tell you to act like the human being you were made to be. Seneca would warn you not to waste life waiting for the perfect hour to begin living. So now hear this clearly. Success is not the highest good. Virtue is. Success is an external, useful perhaps, preferred perhaps, but never sacred. And yet, when a person builds from virtue, success often begins to move differently around him. Not because the universe is bribed by desire, not because every effort is guaranteed a reward, but because character changes behavior, behavior changes results. Results create evidence. Evidence attracts trust, and trust opens paths that desperation could never force open. This is why the builder becomes powerful. He is not begging the world to believe. He is producing evidence. Quietly, patiently, repeatedly, he builds the skill until the skill speaks. He builds the habit until the habit becomes identity. He builds the craft until the craft becomes difficult to ignore. He builds the character until even failure cannot make him cheap. Imagine a craftsman standing before a block of marble. At first, the stone does not resemble anything beautiful. It is heavy, silent, unimpressed. It does not care about his dream. It does not applaud his intention. It does not say, "You are talented." It simply waits for the chisel. One strike, then another, then another. Dust falls. Hands ache. Nothing magnificent appears at first. But the builder does not scream at the stone. He does not beg the marble to reveal the statue. He returns to the work. He studies the line. He corrects the angle. He removes what does not belong. That is how a life is built. Not by begging the future to admire you, but by removing the parts of yourself that cannot carry the future you claim to want. Remove the laziness. Remove the lying. Remove the need for quick praise. Remove the addiction to comparison. Remove the habit of breaking promises to yourself. Remove the fear of being seen. Remove the childish demand that success must arrive before discipline is mature. This is not easy, but nothing worthy is built by the part of you that wants everything quickly. The person you are becoming must be carved. And sometimes, the chisel is delay. Sometimes the chisel is criticism. Sometimes the chisel is failure. Sometimes the chisel is silence. Sometimes the chisel is waking up and doing the work when no part of you feels inspired. This is why Amor Fati matters. Do not merely tolerate the hard season. Use it. Love the material it gives you. If rejection arrives, use it to strengthen humility. If delay arrives, use it to strengthen patience. If doubt arrives, use it to strengthen reason. If criticism arrives, use it to strengthen clarity. If failure arrives, use it to strengthen craft. Nothing is wasted in the hands of a builder. Everything becomes material. The beggar sees obstacles as proof that life is against him. The builder sees obstacles as instruction. The beggar says, "Why me?" The builder says, "What must this teach me?" The beggar collapses when the world is silent. The builder becomes quieter and more dangerous, because he no longer needs constant emotional payment to continue. This is the kind of person success eventually finds. Not the loudest, not the neediest, not the one who talks the most about destiny, but the one whose private discipline has become undeniable. The one whose word has weight. The one whose attention is not scattered. The one whose actions have aligned with his claims. The one who left the invisible courtroom. The one who endured the coal furnace. The one who stopped worshipping success and started honoring the work. Now understand the phrase correctly. Build so deeply that success has no choice but to find you. This does not mean you control every outcome. A Stoic would never make that childish promise. You do not control the market. You do not control timing. You do not control other people's taste. You do not control every opportunity. You do not control whether the crowd claps today. But you do control the depth of your preparation. You control the honesty of your effort. You control the strength of your habits. You control whether you refine or complain. You control whether you return or disappear. You control whether your ambition is ruled by virtue or fear. And when you control these things for long enough, your life begins to carry weight. People can feel weight. They can feel when someone is not pretending. They can feel when the work is real. They can feel when discipline has replaced desperation. They can feel when a person has stopped begging and started becoming. That is attraction in the Stoic sense. Not magic, not fantasy, not empty manifestation, but the natural pull of a character that has become aligned. A person of integrity attracts trust. A person of discipline attracts opportunity. A person of patience attracts responsibility. A person of courage attracts movement. A person of craft attracts recognition. Maybe not instantly, maybe not in the form he expected. But deeply, life responds to what is repeatedly embodied. So do not ask, how do I make success come faster? Ask a better question. How do I become impossible to ignore over time? How do I become so disciplined that my mood can no longer cancel my future? How do I become so clear that other people's opinions no longer scatter my path? How do I become so patient that waiting no longer makes me bitter? How do I become so rooted in virtue that success can enlarge me without corrupting me? That is the question of a builder. And here is the harsh truth. Many people do not need more opportunities. They need more capacity. If the thing they wanted arrived today, it would expose them. The money would expose their greed. The attention would expose their insecurity. The pressure would expose their inconsistency. The responsibility would expose their lack of inner order. So perhaps the work is not only to receive success, perhaps the work is to become strong enough not to be ruined by it. This is why Stoicism matters. It does not merely teach you how to endure failure. It teaches you how to remain honorable in success, to gain without becoming arrogant, to be seen without becoming addicted, to receive more without worshipping more, to rise without forgetting the soul. So build when the crowd is absent. Build when doubt speaks. Build when the waiting period burns. Build when your mood is weak. Build when your old identity begs you to return. Build your skill. Build your judgment. Build your courage. Build your patience. Build your integrity. Build your soul into something that does not need to beg. And one day, when people call it luck, you will know the truth. It was not luck alone. It was the hidden repetition, the quiet correction, the promise kept, the fear refused, the opinion ignored, the delay endured, the stone carved one strike at a time. That is how success finds a builder, not because he chased it like a starving slave, but because he became too solid to be overlooked forever. So leave this final teaching in your mind. Do not beg life to reward the person you refuse to become. Become him, and let the work speak. Remember this: success was never the throne. Virtue is. Money can leave. Applause can fade. The crowd can turn its face away. The result can arrive late, or arrive in a form you did not expect. But your character is yours. Your judgment is yours. Your effort is yours. Your discipline is yours. Your soul is yours, unless you sell it. So do not leave this teaching as a beggar. Do not beg the world to prove that you are worthy. Do not beg strangers to approve the path they were never strong enough to walk. Do not beg time to move faster, because your patience is weak. Build. Build when no one sees. Build when doubt speaks. Build when your mood collapses. Build when the waiting period burns away the childish part of you that wanted reward without formation. The Stoic does not ask life for an easy road. The Stoic asks for the strength to walk rightly. He does not worship success. He honors virtue. He does not chase applause. He returns to the work. He does not collapse when the world is silent. He becomes quieter, steadier, harder to corrupt. So let this be the final law you carry with you. Do not beg life to reward the person you refuse to become. Become him. Let your word have weight. Let your actions become evidence. Let your patience become iron. Let your character become so clear that even failure cannot make you cheap. And when success comes, welcome it, but do not kneel. Use it. Do good with it. Remain free within it. Because the highest victory is not to be seen by the world. The highest victory is to look within and know this. I did not betray myself. I built. I endured. I became worthy of my own respect. That is Stoicism. Build. Don't beg.